Let me talk to you a minute about how to remain calm during a conflict. When we're in a conflict, whether it's in the workplace, with customers, with supervisors, in our family, we have this tendency to want to lose patience and our emotions can overflow. So how do you remain uh, peaceful or how would I say calm during a conflicting situation? And you can use this to apply to yourself or send it on as coaching to those that you are serving as employees. And so let me just start with this. And I think this is important. If someone's not a believer, of course, you're not going to start with this, but hopefully we can lead them to Christ and we can get them thinking in this way. The first thing is to pray. Ask God for the help of the Holy Spirit to remain calm and for wisdom in how to handle the situation. And so that's very important that we realize we're not in this thing alone. Secondly, remember that God is in control. Regardless of how badly things may look, God has still promised that He can work all things. He will work all things together for good to those who love Him. And then the third thing is ask for God or trust in God's wisdom. In the middle of this, God knows what's best, and He will download in the moment ideas, even as you're in the middle of the conflict. Fourthly, if you have anger and bitterness and you're holding on to that, if that's there in your heart, you really need to address that before going into the conflict because holding anger and bitterness, it will come out. And so, many times you have to help people walk through forgiveness and letting go of the anger. Also, focus on the positive. A lot of times when we're in conflict, we only see the dark things. But somehow we have to glean out what can I learn from this experience? How can I grow as a person? And then the sixth thing is be patient. Conflict takes time. And so you have to be patient with the other person, patient with the situation. And so, some other questions you might want to think about. Sometimes it's important to overlook things. That's a very important. Sometimes a situation is not worth addressing. And other questions you could ask is, how can I respond effectively? What control do I have in this situation? Now, practically, here are some tips. You need to give yourself space. Count to 5 or 10 before speaking. Sometimes I'll close my mouth and count my teeth. Other times you may feel so deeply that you simply need to step away. On other ideas, you need to not attack. And you need to find a way to overcome whatever the initial reaction is. And so you generate this calmness with a low, calm voice. You try to maintain objectivity. And so you're trying to promote healthy communication. And as I mentioned, a practical suggestion is sometimes it's time to walk away until you don't just walk away to avoid, but you say something like, hey, let's talk about this another time. I'm too upset. I don't want to be rude. I don't want to say anything I regret. I really do value this relationship, but my goal is to work this out. So, and I'm sure you have some other tips on remaining calm during conflict, but those are some starting points.